Hey, welcome back. So obviously, you kind of just saw what we're about to do. Got a new gun. Let me go get my ruler. I forgot my ruler inside the truck. You guys can just watch the trees for a minute. All right. Got a lot of stuff out here today with us. So, let me make sure you guys can see us. Little case for a itty bitty little pistol. I just got this about a month ago. It is a baby Browning 25 ACP. So, gonna talk a little bit about it, and as you can see by my where are they? It's windy. There's my little ponytail thing back here. It's actually hanging through my hat. We're gonna shoot it. I haven't shot this. I went into one of the pawn shops that I go to frequently and saw it, and I bought it. Let me backtrack a little bit though. Last year in 2016, I went on a work trip to Salt Lake City, Utah, and I went to the Browning Firearms Museum, and I saw a bunch of old Browning guns. I've never liked the 1911. Never shot one. I just don't like just don't want a big gun. I like small polymer guns. But going to that museum made me want to get something, old and semi-historic. So this was the first thing that I bought that was somewhat along that lines. I mean, I have a Mosin Nagant, and I have a Tokarev, pistol. So I have a few old firearms. This one is from 1959, so it's one of my oldest. But saw it, couldn't pass up the opportunity to get it, and it's amazing. All numbers match. There's almost zero wear and tear on the pistol. I'll show them to you. The only few spots. I don't know if you can see that's the safety. There's a little bit of wear on that, and that screw, and then just a little bit of wear and tear on the bottom on the magazine release and the magazine well. It's a European style magazine release, so it's on the bottom of the grip. So I brought out the scale and a few other pistols that are in this case to compare it, so you guys can have a sense of how small this thing is. It was designed in the early 1900s. I'll put a link down below. You can go to the website, the Browning website, and read about it. It was designed in the early 1900s. It was not Mr. Browning himself did not design this. Basically, one of the guys that worked for him designed this off of an earlier design of another vest pocket pistol that they kind of made. So it's just a little bit different design than a few of their other ones. But if you look at it, you can tell that it's definitely has you can tell that it's a Browning pistol. It has all the design elements of what they had. So it's amazing. So let me show you some of the things about it. So it's like I said, it's a European style magazine release. The magazine release is down here. Little magazine holds 6 rounds. The rounds are very small. Here is 22 long rifle, just for a little comparison. This is PPU. These boxes are so fun to open. Alright, here we go. So this is the smallest centerfire cartridge made. It was basically, when Browning actually designed this cartridge, it was the smallest one he could get that was still a centerfire. So here it is compared to 22 long rifle. What else can we compare it to? Let's see, I got a 32 ACP on me too. Take this out. There's a round in the chamber. We'll take that out, and we'll use that one as a comparison. And we got what? 9mm. Let's use that one as a comparison. And what else do we have? Oh, let me get one more gun out of the truck. I forgot. So if you're not familiar with FN and Browning's connection to them, you should read a little bit on the internet if you're curious. But it's kind of funny because here's my FN 5.7. I made a little intro video for this a few months ago. Still haven't shot it, so it's kind of interesting. I have two of the basically kind of old school FN and new. Even though this is a Browning pistol, if you read on the side, it says made in Belgium. So let me take one of these rounds out. Alright, so let me actually put these in somewhat of a different order. Hopefully, alright, so here we have 22 long rifle, 25 ACP, 32 ACP, 9mm, and 5.7 by 28. So let me see if I can get you a little bit of a better view. So obviously you see how small that thing is. It's a very, very small cartridge. Alright, so let me put some of these back where they go. Oh, that's the wrong one. They're so small and cute. Oh yeah, I took that one out of the chamber, so let me put that one back. I got this Kel-Tec P32 from the same place I bought this. I've been rocking this Kel-Tec in my pocket with that little clip on it. It's amazing. Alright, back to the thing at hand. Hopefully I got this camera angled right. You never know until we get home, and I spent an hour out here recording and didn't get anything. Alright, let me put my 9mm back in its place. And put my 5.7 by 28 back in its little spot. And let's get 6 of these little guys out. Come on, look, fella. I jokingly keep stuff on, or keep posting pictures on social media about my baby and the baby food, and need to get food for the baby and all that kind of weird stuff. So what I noticed when I finally got some ammo, because I had this thing for a little while before I got ammo, was when you put all 6 rounds in there, the last 2 that were in the magazine would not feed. Let me show you why. So let me see if I can get a good so look at the top of the magazine right here, and see how the top of the brass on the ammo, on the shell, is not parallel with it. That's not how it's supposed to be. So you put a 3rd one in there, and all of a sudden, bam, it's where it needs to go. So I really have a feeling that these last 2, not only do they not cycle out of the gun right now, but I don't think they're gonna cycle when I fire it. So now that I got it fully loaded, let's turn this scale on. We'll show you some measurements too. So there it is. It's about 4 inches long by about 2 3/4, and widest part. The bed's awesome. Widest part is at the grips. It's kind of hard to see. It's less than 1 inch. I'm not doing precise measuring. Let's scales on. Alright, zero out, guy. There you go. So there it is. Let's change our little units. Anyway, whatever country you might be watching this in, you can kind of see how much this weighs without having to go do conversion. So if I'm using the scale right, hopefully I am. It's loaded. It's 10.79 ounces, so pretty light. Trees keep making noise. It's kind of windy out here. Alright, now that we have it all that done. Come on, scale, shut off. This thing's kind of weird. It's my wife's. She bought it to weigh the chicken that we feed our dogs. They eat raw chicken. They love it. Alright, so let's we'll do the right thing. I was going to take this thing down with a loaded magazine, but let me show you guys. So here's the safety. There's all kinds of proofing marks. You can go on all kinds of websites and read what those are. Let me put this in here and put it around the chamber so you can see the other interesting thing. So this has a magazine disconnect, so it will not fire when the magazine is removed. And then it also has a loaded chamber indicator. This little pin on the back. Put one in there. See how it sticks out? So that's showing you the chamber has a round in it, and it is cocked. So you could do it. You could call it both. I don't know what it's actually really called, loaded chamber indicator or cocked indicator. I'd say probably more along the lines of being cocked, because it sometimes, well, not sometimes, it will show even when there's not a round in the chamber. So I guess maybe it's just a cocking indicator. There we go. For a minute I thought we had a failure to feed, because it's kind of interesting to get that out. That round is pretty interesting to get it out of the chamber. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to do takedown. Take it apart. It's pretty easy. So what you do, and I don't know if I can do this with the camera facing that way, is you take the safety just a little bit off, you bring it back, and put the safety up. It kind of locks the slide back a little bit. Okay, then you twist the barrel, and then yeah, it's actually not gonna do it, because there is a it's cocked. So we're gonna have to uncock it, which means basically what I'm gonna do, which is kind of a bad thing to do anyway. We're just gonna put the magazine in there, pull the trigger. It has that mag disconnect. Alright, so here we go again. I'm probably not really like the best teacher of this, especially because I've only taken this down a few times. But anyway, take the safety a little bit down, slide it back. Safety will lock the slide, twist the barrel. Okay, hold the slide, take the safety off, and then it comes right off. And then you have a little slide spring here, and some other stuff in there, guts. Then once you have the slide off, you rotate the barrel so the lug is on the bottom, and you bring it out. So this one is awesome. This is what you call a, if you don't know this kind of stuff, or maybe you're a car guy, you know, an old muscle car guy, and you hear a numbers match, and you know, you hear that every number on it is the same. You know, you buy a car and it has the right engine in it. That's kind of a big deal. It makes it, you know, brings more value. It's not pieced together at another location. Firearms have the same kind of thing happen to them. So what you always want to look for when you buy a pistol, if it's an older one, they'll generally have the serial number on a few other spots, you know, the frame, the slide, and the barrel. So you can see we have number there, number there, number there, and they all match. So it's a numbers matching pistol. There was only a few spots of corrosion on this when I got it, some rust. They were down in here where the locking lugs for the barrel are, and up in here in the top portion of the slide by the chamber. So there it is, little itty bitty barrel. Let's measure this thing. It's 2 1/8. That's without a micrometer. Oh, and there's a little bit more corrosion right there. You can see it's still kind of pitted. Maybe I need to try to polish this up a little bit. It's pretty good in there. Hopefully, I don't know if you can see it. Let's put it to the light. Can you see in there? Maybe, maybe not. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this thing back together. Okay. So what you do is grab the slide and the barrel. The barrel in there. When you slide the barrel in there, it'll go into that little spot where the lugs go. You twist it. And you take the frame and the slide. Slide it in there. Line up the cocked indicator. And let's see if we can do this. Bring the slide back a little bit. Did I get it right? Yeah. No, I didn't. I didn't get the slide locked back far enough. There we go. Slide's locked back. Rotate the barrel back to where it needs to be. Hold the slide. Take the safety off. Bam. Alright, we had some technical difficulties, but we're back. So, we have some gloves on, because I haven't the slightest idea of how reliable or dangerous this thing might be. We got a little metal plate, and we're gonna fire this thing. So, just like when I fired my tow grab for the first time, I wore these same gloves. My motorcycle gloves are leather, so in case there's an issue, it gives me a little bit of extra protection, which is good, but it's also bad because for this pistol, it's like extremely hard to get my finger in. As you can see, even just holding it, you really only have one finger that goes on the pistol. Even without the glove on, really you only have one finger and a little bit that go in there when you're holding it to actually hold it. So let's get this glove on. We'll get a round in the chamber. The safety also locks the slide, which is kind of an interesting feature, so let's get around the chamber. Alright, we got around the chamber. I'm going to put the safety back on just for the time being. We have the cocked indicator, and we have a target. So, let me put you on this. Let's see. So here we go. Hopefully it's not I don't know, let's put you back over here. So, safety's off. Get my little gloved finger in there. Actually, something tells me that's too close for comfort, even though this is not a huge pistol. So we're gonna go right here. See if we can get my finger in there. Alright, first shot. Slide didn't want to go all the way back forward, but it did. I don't know if it was my glove or a gun issue or lubrication issue. Got our hit right there. I have no clue where that brass went. Let's fire the rest of these. Trying to find a happy medium where the camera can kind of see stuff. I don't know if it's going to be possible though. Get my finger in there before I take the safety off. I was kind of counting, kind of not counting. So let's go here and count. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's see. This little thing's loud. Yeah, all of them went. So, trusted enough, we'll leave the gloves off. Put 6 more rounds in and see what happens. Alright, I'm kind of comfortable standing right here now. Camera angle is horrible. Let's do this. Safety's on. I'm gonna set this guy down right there. Grab our target. This thing's heavy for one hand carry. Put the camera down on the truck. Alright, so now we have a better view. Alright, so we still have a round in the chamber. Well, for some reason she don't want to come back. You pull real hard. Alright, let's do this the right way. Take the magazine out. Come on, slide. There we go. It's kind of just a little bit hung up. Alright, we got a round in there. You know what? I'm going to put the glove back on. Got that feeling, you know, that slide didn't want to come back. A few times I didn't want to go all the way forward. So I'm going to have the glove back on. Put my finger in there. Bam. Worked like a charm. Let's see how we hit. Obviously firing it fast, so I really wasn't focusing totally on where I was hitting. So let's see how many we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I don't know if that's 2 there. 11, maybe 12. Yeah, I think it's actually I think that was 11. I think that one was not 2. I think I either missed it when I was shooting it the first time, or the round went all the way through one of those little holes. Anyway, That's my baby Browning, made in 1959. Thanks for watching. I forgot our little size comparison we were going to do. So, here's a little baby Browning and the FN57. Pretty substantial. So, let's see what we got in here. Just brought a few other pistols, just in case the measurements don't really do it justice. I have a my wife's Glock 17 and my MP 9mm full size. And you know, we can do the shield too, since I got the shield on me. And we can do the Kel-Tec P32. And of course, firearm safety. All of these are loaded, like literally all of them are loaded. And this one has a round in the chamber and no safety, so treat everything, every firearm like it's always loaded, you know, all that stuff. So here we go. Let's try to order these in smallest to largest. So smallest, next, that one. I don't know which one. Well, those are about equal, so I'll put that one next to the other Smith & Wesson. And then this. That thing's definitely a big boy. So there it is. There it is. The Browning, the baby Browning, compared to the Kel-Tec P32 and the Shield 9mm, the M&P 9 full size, Glock 17, and the FN57. Alright, thanks for sticking around for this extra little piece.